Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Sit properly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare
How are
Krishna,
you?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Jaya
Hare
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Thank you so much. Om Gyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. It's a real great honor and privilege to be here with all of you today. I feel really grateful and very happy to be able to serve in some way. Hare Krishna. Krishna is very sweet. Does anyone agree with me? If you don't, then you're in the wrong place. Krishna is the sweetest of the sweet. It's explained by all of our acharyas, it's explained in the Shastra, that there's no one sweeter than Krishna. And Krishna's sweetness is manifest through his loving exchanges with his devotees. Through how he exchanges with them, we can understand Krishna's sweetness. And those exchanges, they take the form of Leela. Anyone know the meaning of the word Leela? Pastimes. Divine play, divine pastime. These exchanges take place on this platform of Leela. And just as Krishna is sweet, and everything about Krishna is sweet, his Leelas are also sweet. It's like the condensed version of his sweetness comes out in that Leela. And all of his Leelas are sweet. And today we'll be speaking about a very specific Leela, which is known as Damodar Leela. And this is a really loving exchange that takes place between Krishna and his mother Yashoda. This word Damodar, Dhamma means, or comes from this word Dhamma, which means rope, and Dhara comes from Udhara, which means belly. So this pastime means one who is bound by a rope around his belly. And Mother Yashoda, in one sense, she's considered the topmost servant or devotee of Krishna in Vrindavan. We can say Radharani is also there, she's on the altar, so we won't pay too much disrespect. But this ras of Madhurya ras is secret. It's not there for everyone. And we can say it's an open secret. But in the eyes of everyone within Goloka Vrindavan, because Mother Yashoda, she's the mother of Krishna, she's considered the topmost in that sense. And when we hear about Krishna's Leelas, there's so many lessons within them all. This morning, or this afternoon, Srivas Pandit Prabhu, he was here, he was giving the Bhakti Shastri program. I was watching online before I came from home. And one of the things that Srivas Pandit Prabhu said that stuck out in my mind, we can get into the mood of Damodar right now. It's okay, I used to cry like that also. Sometimes I still do. So, but Srivas Pandit Prabhu this morning, he was saying, when we study these Shastras, it's not about trying to become scholars. In fact, it's trying to help us become surrendered to Krishna. So the same thing when we hear this Damodar Leela, there's so many lessons within it. There's 3 levels we can look at. On one level, there's some divine Leela taking place between Krishna and his mother Yashoda. And there's some exchange happening between the two of them. On another level, there are some principles that are being explained through this Leela. And on another level, those principles are in general for everyone we should be able to take. And then on another level, there are certain lessons within that Leela that are very specific to me, or specific to you as an individual. And so when we look at these things and when we approach these things, we can look at them on these different levels. So with your permission, if I may, firstly I'll ask for your blessings, because I came to realize something yesterday and also today. Well, anyway, today when I was driving, I was thinking, over the last 15 or so years, I've spoken about this Leela so many times. I've read about this Leela so many times. I've heard about this Leela so many times. But I can't even grasp one small fragment of it. And just when I was driving here today, something was coming to my mind. I was thinking, I never even thought of that before. That's the beauty of Krishna. Krishna is sweet. His sweetness is unlimited. And the sweetness of his Leelas are also unlimited. And so you can spend your whole lifetime meditating upon the same Leela. And something new will come to you every single time. So if it's okay with you, I'll try my best to speak something on this very, very wonderful and beautiful Leela known as Damodar Leela. Is that okay? If it's not, then we'll change the program. So Krishna is very sweet. And everyone in Vrindavan loved Krishna so much. But sometimes, in his sweetness, he was also very mischievous. It's interesting because mischief can also be sweet. Anyone have any children in this room? I have one child also. Children can be mischievous, yes? Shraddha Devi at the front said yes, because she's also a grandmother, so she's seeing this manifesting. But even in the mischief of the child, because there's so much innocence, they're not doing it with any malice, they're not doing it with any ill intentions. Even the mischief can be very sweet. So one such mischief that Krishna used to get up to in Vrindavan is that he would go to the houses of the neighbors, the neighboring gopis, and he would sneak in there when no one was looking, and he would steal. Stealing is not recommended, but he's Krishna, so he can do what he wants. So he would go and he would steal the yogurt and the milk and the butter from the neighbors. And he would sneak in there. Not only would he steal it and eat it himself, he would also give it to other people, his friends. So he had like a crime syndicate. He wasn't just a lone wolf. He had a Vrindavan mafia. And he was the head. I will steal, and I will distribute to everyone else, and everyone else will also become guilty, just like me. Don't get any ideas if you're sitting here. You're still young. So one day, numerous times, but this one day, the gopis came to Mother Yashoda. And they started to complain, although they liked it, but also to increase the Leela, to increase the rasa of this Leela, they started to complain to Mother Yashoda. Your son, he's terrible. He comes to our homes when we're not looking, and he breaks in. And then he steals. He steals our yogurt and our butter, and we work so hard. You know how much effort, like now, you just go to the store and you buy yogurt or the butter, right? But have you ever made yogurt? It's a process. Anyone ever milked a cow? Just a few of you. There's a process too. You have to get the milk. Then you have to boil the milk. Then you have to the environment has to be just right for the milk to then become yogurt. The temperature has to be right. You have to put just the right amount of the old yogurt in so the culture can start to permeate the rest of the milk. It has to be left just for the right amount of time. Otherwise too thick, too thin, too sour, unless it's just perfect. So it takes effort. And then they would take that yogurt and they would churn it. Anyone ever churned yogurt into butter? We're amongst exalted people. Very organic to do it. You churn it. That takes effort too. You sit there and you have to churn this yogurt into butter and then... So in those days it used to take so much effort. It wasn't that you just went to the grocery store and purchased these things. Or ISKCON. They'll deliver it to you. Even less effort. So they were coming and they were saying to Mother Yashoda, your son, he's coming and he's stealing all of this and he's eating it and he's... Not only that, then he's trying to get our children to become like him. He's stealing it and he's giving out to them. And this just has to stop. This is the first really interesting lesson here, or principle. What was Mother Yashoda's reaction? Well, if she was living in today's modern age, she would have been like, my son, get out of here. Get out of my house. How dare you come to my house and criticize my son? He's not doing anything. She'd become defensive. She wants to argue about it. But she didn't do that. That wasn't her response. Her response, immediately she was thinking, what's lacking in my offering to Krishna? What's lacking in my butter that Krishna has to go and steal from some other people, from our neighbors? She had enough fortitude within herself to stop. Before blaming anyone else or saying it's a lie or it's ridiculous, she stopped and she said, but this must be something in me that's lacking, and therefore Krishna has to go out elsewhere and steal. It's interesting for us also, because in our lives we'll find people will come to us and they'll give us some feedback. Feedback's a really difficult thing for most people to take in the world, myself included. So after the class, please be gentle, I ask you. It's an important thing though, to be able to take that feedback, to see, is there something in this for me that I can improve? Is there something here that's lacking in me? Whether the feedback is good or bad or anything, there's always something that I can learn from it. It's the first thing that Mother Yashoda did. What's lacking in my offering? And then she didn't just think about it and say, well, anyway, forget it, next week, we'll just, no, don't worry about it. Then she thought, no, I'm going to do something about this. So I'm going to give Krishna the best offering he's ever had, the best offering of his life. So she made a plan. Plans are very important in life. You have to make a plan. So she had this plan. I'm going to get... Nanda Maharaj had many cows. How many cows did Nanda Maharaj have? Anyone know? 900,000 cows. That's a lot of cows, huh? So she said, I'm going to get the best cows. And I'm going to take them to the best field where they can have the best grass. And eating that best grass, they're going to produce the best milk. And I'm personally going to milk those cows and collect that milk. And then I'm personally going to take that milk and I'm going to boil it and I'm going to turn it into butter. I'm going to turn it into yogurt. And once it becomes yogurt, then I'm going to personally churn it into butter. So I'm going to take the best cows, give them the best grass, we're going to get the best milk, we're going to make the best yogurt, I'm going to churn it and make the best butter, and then Krishna will surely be satisfied and he'll stop this stealing. It's another principle. We can ask ourselves these questions. When we meet reversals in life, when we meet challenges, do we just say, anyway, I'm defeated. My son's just like that. He's just going to steal. What can I do about it? Or can we stop and think, well, there must be something in me, and then from there create a plan. Can I really give my best? This is a universal principle. This is not just a principle in terms of your spiritual lives, but also in terms of your work, in terms of your relationships. In so many ways, we can ask ourselves, am I truly giving my best? Because the nature of this world is, what you put into it is ultimately what you're going to get out. The amount of effort that you'll put into your life, it will exchange with you in that way too. And Krishna says this, with him specifically. As they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. That the nature of relationship is that it's reciprocal. And so if I'm giving my best to Krishna, then I can expect maybe Krishna will give me the best of things back also. Meaning he'll give me some happiness and some peace. He'll give me the best opportunities to continue my service and to deepen my relationship with him. So she's thinking like this, Mother Yashoda. So she sets out to do it. She takes personal responsibility. She doesn't order anyone else. Hey, you, go get the cows and milk them and make the butter and then we'll see. No, I'm going to take personal responsibility for this. Personal responsibility is an important thing in one's life also. Unless we're willing to take personal responsibility for something in our lives, we can't really complain about the outcome of what's happening around us. As much as we want the outcome to conform to what I want it to be, I have no place to criticize or to complain about the outcome unless I'm willing to take personal responsibility for making it better. Right? This happens in the world a lot. I do this all the time. I don't watch the news anymore. I stopped watching the news a long time ago. But I remember when I used to watch the news, and I still meet with people who watch the news. Some of you may watch the news, so please tell me what's going on, because I don't know. And I would think, oh, the world's crazy. Someone should do this, and someone should do that, and then I realized one day, I'm someone. I could do something. I may not be able to change the whole world, but I could maybe try and change my world and make my world a little bit better and the world of the people around me a little bit better. Take personal responsibility. So Mother Yashoda, she set out like this. She set out on this way, I'm going to do this, I'm going to create the best butter for Krishna. Hare Krishna. So one day in the morning, she's collected the milk. She got the cows, she gave them the best grass, she got the best milk. So she sets about to create this butter. On one side, she starts to boil the milk to create the yogurt. On the other side, she had some yogurt already, and she began to churn it. Anyone ever seen how they churn yogurt into butter? Anyone like to explain? There's only a few of you who said you've seen it. Shraddha, is there a microphone somewhere there?
Well, personally, I have used a blender to make the butter, but I'll explain to you the process. Because my mother-in-law used to churn using the traditional method. So she used to keep the yogurt in an earthen pot, and inside that she would put a little stirrer with a handle on it, and then she would tie a rope around it, and then she would start pulling the rope, in each of the directions with both of her hands, and then the thing inside the churning rod would churn, and then the yogurt the butter would separate from the yogurt and would stick to the stick, and then she would constantly take it off like that.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, you can use the blender also. That's the modern equivalent of the earthen pot. But in the old days, they put it in a big earthen pot, clay pot. They put it in, and it would be a stick, and at the bottom of the stick would be some sort of churning. It was a churning rod, and they would have a rope, and they would twist the rope. Mother Yashoda started doing this. Anyone who's seen this done with an earthen pot, in the beginning, there's a sound that comes. You ever heard the sound? What's the sound like? It's like shh, shh, shh. It's like a sloshing sound. And one of the things that happens as you begin to churn, and the butter begins to form, the sound starts to become a little deeper. It goes from a shh, shh to more like a boom, boom, boom. Sounds kind of like a mridanga. Could you do that on the big end of the mridanga? Anyone know how to do that when you slide down it? You can hit it though at the end. It's fine. It sounds like somewhat like that. It sounds like a mridanga. And while she's doing this, oh, here we go. We're gonna get a. It starts to sound like that. So while Mother Yashoda was churning, she was hearing this sound coming from the clay pot. And meanwhile, on her arms, she had these beautiful bangles on. It's not like, okay, I got to do my housework, I'm just going to put on my yoga pants, and I'm just going to... It was an offering to Krishna. So she was really at her best, because she's giving her best to Krishna. And her bangles, they were hitting one another, and it sounded kind of like cartels. You ever heard that? Anyone ever, when you work wearing bangles? Yeah, I just heard someone just did it. Yeah, kind of like that. So her bangles were hitting each other. It was creating this sound. It was like this. So the mridanga was going with a clay pot, and her bangles were sounding like cartels. And what was she doing while she was churning this? She was thinking of Krishna, and she was doing something else too. She was singing. She was singing the glories of Krishna. So the mridanga from the clay pot was going, and the cartels were going from her bangles. And she was singing. Krishna Govinda Govinda He Gopal Nandalal. Govinda Govinda He Gopal Nandalal. He Gopal, He Gopal, He Gopal, He Gopal. So in this way she was having her own little kirtan. The pot became the mridanga, her bangles became the cartels, and she was singing from the deep core of her heart. Two very powerful things she was doing. She was serving Krishna, she was trying to give Krishna the very best by creating the very best butter. And she was singing from the core of her heart. In the meantime, Krishna, he was asleep in another room. And he starts to hear this sound. His eyes begin to open, and he wakes up. He takes his little hands and he rubs his eyes, and he stretches, and he yawns. And he starts to hear, what is this sound? And he gets up, sleepy, he walks over. He's following the sound. He walks over to his mother. It's also an important principle we should understand. Sometimes we can think, by my chanting and by my service, I will go to Krishna. Right? I'm going to serve and I'm going to chant, and then I will go to Krishna. It doesn't work that way. Because Krishna, he's supremely independent. We all like to be independent, or we think we're independent. But try to not pay your taxes, and then you will find out how independent you truly are. But Krishna, he's the most independent. There's nothing that we can do to capture Krishna in that way. It's not that through my chanting and through my service that I'll go to Krishna. But we see indicated here, by the sincerity of my service, by the sincerity of my chanting, Krishna will come to me. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said, don't act in such a way that you want to see Krishna, but act in such a way that Krishna wants to see you. And this is what we're trying to do in our lives. We're trying to live our lives so nicely with values and with principles, the principles of humility, the principles of service to others, the principles of surrender. Not that I can get to Krishna, whether I get to Krishna or not. That's not what I just want to serve Krishna. And if Krishna feels inspired by my sincerity, then he will come and take me himself. And we see that. This is what happens. Mother Yashoda's outpouring of her devotion through her service and through her singing, and Krishna comes to her. And then we think, okay, Krishna comes to me. Hey, Hare Krishna, everything's going to be great, right? Peace, nirvana. But what does Krishna do when he comes to Mother Yashoda? He pulls on her sari. He says, hey mama, I'm hungry. Feed me. Here she is, she's boiling the milk, she's churning the yogurt. Krishna comes to her, and we think, oh, peace now, nothing's going to happen. No, feed me, I'm hungry. It's the nature of service. The nature of service is that service brings more service. That's the perfection of your service. That's how you know I'm actually doing something that's pleasing to the devotees of Krishna and to Krishna himself, is that the service just keeps coming. It's not like I met my quota of service now. That's it. Krishna should come and get me, and then I should be like laying in a hammock in Vrindavan. No, the true test of your service and whether you're pleasing Krishna is that he will send you more service. And so he comes to Mother Yashoda, he pulls on her sari. Hey, you have to feed me. So she has so much love for Krishna, she said, okay, I'll feed you. She starts to feed Krishna her milk. In the meantime, Krishna's just enjoying himself because that's what he does. He's drinking the milk. He's very happy in his mother's arms. It's explained by acharyas that everything in the spiritual world has consciousness. Everything is conscious. Whether inanimate or animate, there's consciousness there. And so this milk that's on the stove is watching this scene. I mean, think about how fortunate this milk is. It's watching Krishna being fed by his mother. But the milk begins to think, if Mother Yashoda is feeding Krishna, then he's going to be full. And then what am I going to do? She's boiling me so I can feed him, but he's going to be full. And so the milk couldn't take this anymore. It's like, I can't, what's the point of my existence? And so the milk thinks, forget it, I'm going to jump out of this pot into the fire and just kill myself. We can see Krishna comes to Mother Yashoda. She's serving him already, and he, give me milk. The milk itself sitting on the pot thinking, I can't serve Krishna, he's going to be full, let me die right now. There's no meaning to my existence. The devotee lives to serve. It's the nature. That's what we have to adopt, that mood. That's what it really means to serve. It means that I live to serve. And simultaneously at the other side of it, you have to serve to live. Right? You live to serve. You seek out any opportunity I can to serve in some way that's practical. Let me please try and take that. But I also serve to live, because without service, there really is no life. That's what this milk is telling us. Without really serving Krishna, we may have nice things. Anyone got the new iPhone? You have? I want to see it. It's got 3 cameras on it. I don't know what you can do with 3 cameras. But you might get nice things. You might have a nice big house and a nice shiny car, and like people may worship you and think you're like famous. You get a lot of likes on Facebook, right? A lot of followers on Twitter, or whatever else is out there these days. But that's no life. It's like an empty shell. It's like building a big opulent sand castle. It just, with the hands of time, the waves of life will come and knock it all down. So the devotee lives to serve, but they also serve to live. Because on the platform of service, one is connecting with Krishna, and that's for your eternal benefit. That's for your eternal life. So this milk is thinking, I don't get that opportunity. I made it all the way to Vrindavan. I came out with the best cows. and I'm not going to have the opportunity. Better my life is over. Now we shouldn't take that to too much of an extreme ourselves, because we all have our responsibilities in life, and we have duties that we have to fulfill. But just going back to the beginning, Mother Yashoda wanting to give her best, we can analyze our lives. We can see, am I really giving my best to Krishna? You know, you have 24 hours in a day. Yeah, I have to sleep maybe 8 hours, let's say. That's what people sleep on average. I have to work. They say 8 hours, but really, you're probably there for 10 hours. You can see how much time do I have left. Am I giving some of that to Krishna? Am I really giving my best to Krishna? Otherwise, my life, really, it's nice. I may have nice things, but in the ultimate end, I didn't really utilize it properly. So anyway, this milk begins to boil over. Mother Yashoda, what does she do? It's quite interesting. She puts Krishna down and she goes to take care of the milk. Now think about this, right? She wants to boil the milk to serve Krishna. Krishna comes and she's personally serving Krishna. And then she puts him down to go and take care of the milk. Isn't that interesting? You find that interesting? Imagine Krishna just came off the altar right now. And he said, hey, Prabhu, come on. I got some service for you. We'll speak about Salva Prabhu. He's in there, right? Sutra Malik Prabhu. So imagine Krishna comes off the altar and goes to Sutra Malik Prabhu and says, please come with me and have some service. And Sutra Malik Prabhu says, no. I have to man the broadcast. It's going to be kind of strange. We'd all think, oh my God, he's gone crazy. But this is what Mother Yashoda does. She puts Krishna down and she goes and takes care of the milk. It's another principle here in our service. Service, there's no higher or lower service. We think in those ways because we think in the material realm. We think very dualistically. One thing is higher than the other, one thing's better than the other. But in the spiritual realm, everything is absolute. Whether she's serving Krishna by feeding him personally, or whether she's serving Krishna by boiling the milk and making the butter, it's absolute. It's service for Krishna. That's all she wants. She wants to please Krishna. We can live like that too. Whether you're sitting here giving the class, or whether you're in the kitchen cooking the feast, or whether you're outside sweeping the parking lot, Krishna he doesn't mind. He's not saying one person's better than the other because one person's doing this and the other person's doing that. What he cares about is the sincerity of your heart. There's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita. What does Krishna say? Can anyone think of what verse I'm thinking of? Yes. You can say louder. The microphone's right there.
Patram pushpam phalam toyam yomi bhaktya prayachati tadham bhakti partam ashnami prayatatmanaha.
The translation?
If you offer me a fruit, a flower, a leaf, or water with love and devotion, I'll accept it.
That was teamwork. They both did it together. You see that one started, the other one finished. Yeah, a leaf, a flower, some fruit, or some water. It's pretty easy to get those things. Particularly, you think Krishna grew up in Vrindavan, which was a forest. It's very easy. You just go pick a leaf off the tree. You can go outside right now. So many leaves. There's some probably on the ground. Half the job's already done for you. It's not the thing. It's the love and the devotion. That's what Krishna wants. So whether she's feeding Mother Yashoda, she's feeding Krishna personally, or whether she's tending to the milk, which was for Krishna, it's absolute. No higher, no lower. So we should think like that in our service too. It's not like I'm going to wait for the big service. I'll serve, yeah, that's fine, I'll serve, but only if I can do the big service, only if I can give the class, right? Only if I can put the garland on the guru, then I'll do the service. No, anything, simple. There's no shortage of service. You can do anything, you just serve Krishna with your heart. And that's what Krishna looks for. Anyway, I forgot where I was. The milk was boiling over. So she puts Krishna down. And she goes to tend to the milk. And now check this out. Krishna says, I'm not satisfied. Krishna's known as Atma Ram. He's self-satisfied. Not only is he self-satisfied, he's giving satisfaction to earlier on I was saying you won't have any satisfaction unless you serve Krishna. Now I'm saying even he's not satisfied. It seems a little hopeless. The person who's going to give me satisfaction isn't satisfied. Krishna's unlimited. So his capacity to enjoy the loving exchanges with his devotee are also unlimited. It wasn't that he was hungry for milk. He was hungry for Mother Yashoda's love. And as I said right in the beginning, we can see this Leela on 3 different platforms. And on the platform of just the divine Leela in and of itself, in order to make it continue, he had to become angry. He was 2.5 years old, the Acharyas explain at this time. 2.5-year-old, what's he going to do when he gets angry? Is he going to start a petition online? My mother should never leave me when she's feeding me. He gets angry, he sees a stone, he picks up a stone and he goes into the room where from the rafters all these pots, clay pots are hanging, where the yogurt and the butter, and he picks up this stone, he throws it, and he smashes one of the pots open out of his anger. He says, I'm going to smash all these pots today. I'm going to teach my mother a lesson. How dare she leave me when she was feeding me? So he starts to break these pots. He starts to take the butter out and starts eating the butter. I told you in the beginning, right? He likes to steal things, so he's even stealing from his own house now. His crime degree is becoming even greater now. Before it was just the neighbors, now it's his own house. So he starts to steal this butter, he starts to eat it, but then he does something even more interesting. He sees some monkeys and said, hey, monkey, come over here. I got something really great for you. He's eating the butter and he's giving the butter out to the monkeys as well. This is what he used to do with his friends, right? This is why the other gopis came and complained. He's not only is he stealing our butter, he's giving it to our children and making them thieves as well. So he starts to give this butter out to the monkeys as well as eat it himself. It's another great principle here. There's no possessiveness. I stole this butter, it's my butter, I'm keeping it for myself. He wasn't possessed, there's no possession, no. Freely, give to everyone. Give to the monkeys, no problem, let me give. This is what Krishna does, he reciprocates. We can see it from that platform too, from that angle of vision. We want to give our devotion to Krishna, and Krishna will take it, and then he'll give us something in return, and he'll give us deep prema. So anyway, Mother Yashoda, she finishes tending to the boiling over milk, and then she says, oh, my son's gone. He must be up to some more mischief. So she goes looking for him, and she sees this broken pot. There's only one person who could have done this. There can be no one else but that little boy, Krishna. He broke my... And then she sees these footprints, buttery footprints. That's why Krishna has such soft feet, because they're always moisturized with butter. So she sees these footprints, and she starts to follow the footprints, and she sees Krishna sitting on top of a grinding mortar. He turned it upside down. He's sitting there, and he's reaching up to the rafters. He's taking the butter, and he's distributing it to the monkeys. And out of the corner of his eye, he says, oh no, I'm in trouble. My mother just caught me. You ever have that feeling when you were a kid? I sometimes still have it. I'm not young anymore. You know, I do something and my mother finds out, oh, Krishna. I remember being a kid and you have that feeling. It's like, oh, you just want the world to, like a hole to open up in the ground and swallow you alive. She found out. Now it's confirmed, you know, that he's a mischievous young boy to her. So seeing her, he becomes so fearful. It's another great thing. The person who's supposed to make everyone satisfied was dissatisfied or unsatisfied, not fully satisfied. The person who's God manifests the whole universe, kills so many demons. He sees his mother and he becomes afraid. Again, it's rasa. This is the beauty of Krishna. This is the beauty of a loving relationship with Krishna. He'll give up even the position of being God for you. Can you imagine who would do that? Imagine, just ask someone, hey, I really love you, we have a relationship. Give up your job for me. People won't even give me your car. Give up your car for me, please. No, I'm not going to do it. Krishna gives up even the position of being God. He gives up even being the supreme personality of Godhead in order to exchange lovingly with Yashoda as his mother. So he becomes afraid and he starts running. He's running and running, and Mother Yashoda says, I'm going to teach this boy a lesson today. First the neighbors are complaining. I'm trying my best to serve him. Then he breaks all my pots. I'm going to teach him a lesson. So he's running and she's running after him, and she picks up a stick along the way. She's chasing him with this stick. Krishna's so fearful, he's crying. The kajal, the anointment under his eyes, it starts to run down his face. Finally, Mother Yashoda, she captures him. She grabs him by the arm. She turns around. He turns around, they look at each other in the eye. She's got this stick in her hand and he's just crying, so fearful. Just seeing that exchange of emotion or that expression of emotion coming from Krishna. Mother Yashoda's heart, it just completely melts. She throws the stick away. This is the object of her affection, the object of her love. Everything she does so lovingly. And even chasing him, she's doing it so lovingly. And to see him in anxiety or fear, it broke her heart, so she threw the stick away. But she's not going to quit. I'm still going to teach you a lesson, my boy, because you have to learn a lesson. This is called tough love, right? I have a son. He's going to be 2 soon. And, sometimes it's so, come here, loving. I realize as he gets older, it can't always just be loving. Sometimes there's a need for tough love. I needed that when I was growing up, so I can estimate probably he will also need it. But the emphasis on tough love is not on tough, it's on love. And so even when we have our relationships in this world, sometimes in our relationships there's a need to be a little tough, right? We're trying to serve everyone. Undoubtedly, we're trying to be humble. But we're going to meet conflict. We're going to meet challenges with others. It's just the nature of the world, unfortunately. And you may have to deal with it with some tough love, but put the emphasis on the love and not on the tough part. It's an important thing. So anyway, Mother Yashoda's thinking, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to teach him a lesson. So she comes up with the idea. I'm going to tie you up. I'm going to tie him to this grinding mortar. Because then he won't get into so much trouble. I'm trying to make something nice for him. And if I tie him up, then he'll be over there. I don't have to worry so much. He'll be fine. So she takes him to the grinding mortar. She takes some rope. She takes the rope. She puts it around his belly. And then she goes to tie the knot. Guess what happens? It's too short. The rope's too short. It's 2 fingers too short, it's explained. 2 fingers too short. So Mother Yashoda, she says, forget it, I'm not going to do it. Let Krishna run around. I'm done for the day. Is that what she did? What did she do? She went and got more ropes. She went and she got another rope. She tied that rope to the original rope. She tried to tie Krishna again. She goes to tie the knot and still 2 fingers too short. She goes in the house, she gets another rope, ties it up, wraps around Krishna's belly, wraps around the grinding mortar. Thank you so much. She goes to tie the knot. Still 2 fingers too short. Like this, rope after rope after rope. She took all, and they had a lot of rope. They were cowherds. They were like herding cows, so there was a lot of rope there. Every rope in the house she got. And no matter what she did, no matter how she tried, no matter what angle she did it on, she just couldn't tie Krishna. It was always 2 fingers too short. So then she quit, right? Then she said, forget it. I did all the rope. What can I do? There's no more rope left. I tried my best. Hare Krishna to you. Go and steal, no problem. Right? What else is she going to do? She's going to quit. No? Yes? No? Please tell me. What happens next? Okay, we got the answer came from the sound room. She went and got rope from the neighbors. She went to the surrounding gopis, the same ones that came in the beginning, and said, hey, your son's stealing from us. She went back to them, and she said, bring your rope. We're going to teach this kid a lesson today. And what did they say? No, he's a thief. We don't want anything to do with you. They said, okay, yeah, no problem. We're going to come with our rope. So they all came. All the neighbors came. They brought their ropes. It's a very important principle here. That principle is you have to know when to ask for help. She didn't think, well, I'm Krishna's mother. And Nanda Maharaj, Krishna's father, he's like the king of this village. And now if I go and tell them I need help, how's that going to look? Forget it, I'm not going to tell anyone I need help. She wasn't insecure, right? A lot of times we don't ask for help. We all need help, it's a fact. If you don't think you need help, you need the most help. You can come and speak to me afterwards. We all need help. We can't go it alone. But we seldom ask for help because we feel insecure. We feel like if I tell people I need help, they're going to think less of me. Right? I'm trying to create this image of being this strong, powerful person who's independent and can do anything. How I'm superior to everyone else. So how's it going to look if I say I need help? That means I have to admit someone else is superior to me. Someone else might know something I don't know. Someone else may have some skills that I don't have. You have to be able to ask for help. This is God's mother. She's asking for help. She's asking for help. Goes back again to the very beginning. She wanted to offer Krishna the best. Same thing with us. We want to offer Krishna the best. But what if my best comes up 2 fingers too short sometimes? Should I just quit? Should I forget it, man? I'm not doing it. I just won't go to the temple anymore. No, ask for help. That's why Sangha is emphasized so much by our acharyas. Surround yourselves with good people, and they will willingly help you. They're not going to think it's a burden. They're not going to think, come on, Yashoda, I have to now find rope in my house because you can't discipline your son. Willingly, happily, they came forward to help. When you don't have insecurity, when you feel very secure and you realize with humility, I have my shortcomings, I'm trying my best, and I want to offer the very best, then you'll ask for help. You'll get input for other people. You don't become possessive. Well, he's my son, I'm the one who's going to tie him. So all the neighboring gopis, they came, they brought their rope. So she tied another rope. She tried to tie Krishna, went round the grinding mortar, went round Krishna's belly. She went to tie the knot. Guess what? Huh? She couldn't do it. She couldn't tie the knot. Still 2 fingers too short. So rope after rope after rope. All of her ropes were exhausted. All of the neighbors' ropes were exhausted. They went around. They ordered on Amazon Prime rope. Same day delivery. As much rope as we can get. We're going to get the rope. And they kept tying the rope after rope after rope after rope after rope after rope. Couldn't tie the knot. 2 fingers too short. But guess what? She just wouldn't quit. Mother Yashoda, she just would not quit. And as she was doing this, she's trying her best. I'm going to tie you up, Krishna. It's explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. She's starting to perspire. She's starting to sweat. Her breathing is starting to become heavy. The flowers, the beautiful flowers that were decorating her hair are falling down on the ground at Krishna's feet. Her hair's becoming somewhat disheveled. And Krishna's just standing there. And he's thinking, keep trying, lady. Keep trying, keep going. And then Krishna starts to realize, there's something very special about my mother. Something so special about her. She loves me so much that she'll stand here all day and all night, day after day after day, trying to tie me up. She won't give up. She'll just keep finding rope. Somehow or other, she'll find rope somewhere. And she'll just keep trying. She's not going to quit. She's not going to let up. Look how much endeavor she's making. Look at how much effort she's putting in. She's starting to sweat. She's starting to breathe heavily. Her hair's becoming loose. But she's not giving up. Seeing this, remember Mother Yashoda saw Krishna's emotion when she had the stick? What did I say happened when she saw his emotion? He was so fearful and he was crying and she had the stick. What happened? Seeing his emotional expression. You remember? It was like 10 minutes ago. Her heart melted. Her heart completely melted seeing his emotional expression. Krishna seeing the expression of Mother Yashoda's love for him. Not letting up, not giving up, continuing. His heart completely melts too. Mother Yashoda goes to tie him up again. This time when she takes the ropes together, guess what happens? She's able to tie a knot around Krishna. She's captured him. He's bound. Mission accomplished. We can all go home now. She finally ties him up. So our acharyas explain these 2 fingers, they represent something. The first finger represents our endeavor. She endeavored, Mother Yashoda, right? She was really endeavoring. I mean, rope after rope, perspiring. When was the last time we sweated when we were doing our service? I mean, I'm kind of sweating right now because there's so many of you in the room. Endeavor, it's that 1 finger. And seeing the endeavor, the sincerity of that endeavor, that kind of relentless, I'm never going to give up. Whether you get tired or not, I'm not going to give up. Then the second finger comes into play, and that is Krishna's mercy. Our endeavor, no matter what, Krishna, you throw whatever you want at me, I'm not going anywhere. When he sees that, then Krishna says, okay, I'm yours, here's my mercy. And the two things meet, and Krishna becomes tied. He becomes tied in the core of your heart. Once he's tied, don't ever let him go. Because even if you try to let him go, he won't leave. That's what these two fingers represent from the rope. This is how you get Krishna's mercy. You hear this sometimes. Oh, that person, you really got the mercy. You ever hear that? You really got the mercy. That person really got the mercy. Actually, the mercy is freely flowing. The mercy is there. It's flying through the air. It's just a matter of, am I willing to capture it? If I'm thinking I just sit here and the mercy will fall on top of my head like some soft goo and run down my face. No, you have to chase it. You have to go after it, because Krishna's not so cheap. He doesn't give himself away so easily. Because look what happens when he gives himself away. He gave himself completely to Mother Yashoda. She made him cry. She made him afraid. She chased him with a stick. She tied him up. When Krishna gives himself to you, he gives himself to you completely. You become his plaything. He gives up his position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he has to have enough faith in you that you're going to deal with him accordingly. You're going to treat him properly. And how do you prove that? You prove that by your endeavor. You prove that by your sincerity right now. How much am I willing to do? Relationships are like that. That's what a loving relationship means. A real, true loving relationship, you're not in it because you're trying to get something out of it. You're in it because you just want to give. So Krishna wants to see that from us. He wants to see our endeavor. Because he's not a cheap thing. He's the most valuable thing. He's the most amazing thing. He's the thing that you really want, and you don't even know it yet. So to get him, this is the price. Everything has a price tag, right, in the world. This is the price tag. Price tag is your sincerity. You don't need a credit card. You don't need a checkbook. You just need the sincerity of your heart. And then Krishna, he will allow you to tie him up deeply within the core of your heart. But I was just thinking about this when I was driving over. Entertain me for a minute. Maybe you can help me answer this question. Mother Yashoda, where is she? Where is she? Where is this taking place? Goloka Vrindavan is happening in the spiritual world, right? Who is she? She's the mother of God, right? She's the mother of God. She's in the spiritual world. And who is she having an exchange with? Krishna, God himself. Why so much challenge? Why so much challenge? I mean, she's in the spiritual world. It should be easy, right? Her son is God. It should be very easy. If she wants to tie him up, she should just be able to tie him up. Why so much challenge? Why the chasing? Why the rope after rope after rope? Why the perspiring? Why so much challenge? Why so many obstacles? Something simple as tying up a 2.5-year-old boy with some rope. I don't recommend that, by the way, because child services would probably come to your house very quickly. Why so much challenge? We think that, right? I think this often. When I'm at work, I think, anyway, one day, somehow, by someone's mercy, I'll retire and I'll go to Vrindavan and everything will be wonderful. And then sometimes I get really indulgent and I think, one day, if I'm very, very lucky and like I die in front of a devotee or something, maybe I'll go to the spiritual world and then I'll be peaceful. You know? No more challenges. No more like obstacles. Here she is. She's in the spiritual world. She's there with God himself, Krishna, right in front of her. Challenge after challenge after challenge, obstacle after obstacle. Why? Why so much obstacle? Why so much challenge?
Her sincerity, and she shows how much she really wants to tie Krishna up, and that kind of reflects of like how in bhakti itself, like we can, with our free will, we can automatically say, Krishna, like you're the ultimate goal, but we have to like really see how much do we really want Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. Very nice. Yeah, like I said, Krishna's not so cheap, right? Sincerity, you can fake sincerity. I mean, I do it all the time. I'm doing it right now. You can fake it. Some people are really good, like who are actors, and they can even fake tears. They can start crying. Right? Some people can do that too. So your sincerity becomes tested. This is why so much challenge. This is why. Krishna really wants to see. Are you really that surrendered? Do you really love me that much? Because it's easy to love someone when it's all good, right? That's kind of easy. I think about this with my son. When he's like having a great day and he's just happy, it's really easy to love him. But when he's crying in the middle of the night because his teeth are coming out and I have to work the next day, I've got meetings all day, he's just restless, nothing you do will soothe him, you just can't make him peaceful. Sometimes it's difficult to love someone in that situation. I'm just being honest, right? There's a part of you think, oh my God, this kid. It's easy to love someone when it's good. It's the challenging times that really show you the fortitude of someone. It really shows you what's inside someone. I give this analogy sometimes. Like, when you wear a shirt or a kurta like this, it's ironed, it's buttoned up, it looks very nice. But when it gets stretched a little, like you can start to see beneath the shirt a little bit. And life's like that. Life stretches you. And it kind of puts you under some pressure sometimes. And it pulls the seams apart a little bit. And then you get to see what's really inside. That's why challenge. That's why the obstacle. But this is what I was thinking when I was driving also about this. For us, in this realm, we're not really there, I'm not at the level of Mother Yashoda by any means. If I have the Ishvara mentality, what does Ishvara mentality mean? What do I mean? If I have this Ishvara bhav, that I'm the controller, I'm the enjoyer, I am the absolute center of the universe. If I have this mentality and I meet a challenge, either I'll give up or I'll blame someone else. Because it starts to butt up against what I think the world should be like and how the world should treat me. This is unfair. This is not just. I'm Krishna's mother. I should be able to tie up my son if I want. If I have this Ishvara mentality, the challenges are really challenges. I see them as challenges. They bring me down. They make me depressed. They make me frustrated. They make me angry. Mother Yashoda, she didn't have this Ishvara bhav. What did she have? Motherly? Seva bhav. Man, you're getting all the answers today. Seva bhav. She had the seva bhav. I just want to serve you. If we adopt this mentality, I'm just a servant. This is what I am. I'm not the master. I'm not the controller. I don't get to manipulate the world and exploit the world for my own ends. I'm simply a servant. That's who I am. That's what I am. That's what my whole existence is about. Then these aren't challenges. Mother Yashoda is not seeing this as a challenge. This is just a way to deepen my service. This is an opportunity to serve more, to surrender more, to give more of myself. So you can test. We can see, where's my mentality? Do I feel like the world's being unfair to me? Do I feel like this is so difficult? Why is this? That means my mentality is that I'm trying to control and manipulate the world. But those same challenges, those same obstacles may come to you. But if you have this seva bhav, I'm just a servant, then you'll look at it and you'll see, what's Krishna trying to teach me through this? What opportunity is Krishna giving me through this challenge? How is Krishna showing me that I need to surrender? What parts of me are soft that need to become hard? What parts of me are hard that need to become soft? What am I holding on to that I need to let go of? What have I let go of that I need to bring back into myself? It's no longer a challenge. It's no longer an obstacle. It's an opportunity for your own growth. Anyone here go to the gym? Anyway, there's these things, they're called gyms. People go there to work out. I don't know about them too much. I've heard about them and seen them on TV. But when you go to the gym, apparently, it's not by lifting just light weights, I'm going to be fit. There has to be some strain. There has to be some challenge. There has to be some resistance there. That's how your muscles grow. If it's too heavy, you'll never go back. Which is good for me because I never went in the first place. And if it's too light, you'll never grow. So Krishna, he just makes that sweet spot for you. He creates that sweet spot where it's not too easy and it's not too challenging. But there's just enough resistance that you have to adopt the mentality of Seva Bhav. I'm just here to serve you, Krishna. Whatever you want to do with me, you do it. I'm not going to move anywhere. I'm just here to serve you. That becomes your opportunity for growth. If you're able to do that, you can capture Krishna. It's so simple. I tell you how simple it is. You don't have to become a scholar. You don't have to become an intellectual. You don't need to have a big house in Los Altos. None of these things. You just have to simply say this: Krishna, I am yours. Would you like to try that? Okay. Krishna, I am yours. Okay, but with a little more sincerity. Krishna, I am yours. And now from the core of your heart, with all the feeling you have, Krishna, I am yours. So you said it 3 times. In the Vedic culture, if you say something 3 times, that means you really made a firm commitment. Krishna, I am yours. But the other side of it is, Krishna, you are mine. I am yours and you are mine. I am your servant and you are my master. Anyone heard of this wonderful set of verses called the Shikshastikam? Does anyone know what the last verse of Shikshastikam is? Please get a microphone.
आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां विनस्तु माम् अदर्शना मे मर्मतां करोतु वा यदा तदा वा विददातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु तयैव नापरः सैव नापरः.
Okay, the translation, please.
Krishna is my master. Krishna will always be my master, even if he behaves rough with me. I don't know exact. Oh, okay. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so. Even he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. This is how you capture Krishna in the core of your heart. You live this verse. Krishna, whether you're in front of me or not, whether I serve and I get any reciprocation from you or not, I am here, I am your servant, do what you want with me. I mean, it sounds like a tall order, doesn't it? But it's actually so simple. It begins with, Krishna, I am yours. Krishna, I am yours. Adopt this bhav, this seva bhav. Krishna, I am yours. And then you'll start to see opportunities to serve Krishna. That's how you capture Krishna. That's how Mother Yashoda captured Krishna. She didn't capture him because she was going to work out a lot at the gym like we just discussed and she was super strong, or that she was a sprinter. You know, she was like a 100-meter gold medalist in the Olympics. That's not why she captured Krishna. How she captured Krishna was the simplest of simple things. She just loved him unconditionally. That's the net by which you capture Krishna. You love him unconditionally. And for us, what does that mean? It means in our busy, busy lives, find some time for Krishna. You can chant just like Mother Yashoda in the beginning of this pastime we spoke about. She was churning, she was doing the service, and she was singing Krishna's name. And Krishna came to her. It's 2 things you have to do. Find opportunities to serve and find time to connect to Krishna through his holy name. You can do that anywhere, at any time. Right? Isn't it? I mean, I'm a pretty busy guy. I have a full-time job. I have a family. I do things like this in my spare time. I find time. You just have to give some time to Krishna. And again, going back to the beginning, the best. Give your best to Krishna. And what your best is today, it has to be your best. Don't compare yourself to others. Give what you can give. And what your best is today, it may be different tomorrow. It may be different a week from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. So analyze. Just as Mother Yashoda did in the beginning, what's lacking in me? What's lacking in my offering that Krishna has to steal? Analyze. How can I increase my service? How can I increase my surrender to Krishna? How can I give my best? that unconditional love, it will serve you for eternity. It's not like this world in which, I'm going to work hard for my boss and then next week he tells me you're fired. Krishna will never let go of you. If you say, Krishna, I am yours, then Krishna will also say back to you, and I am yours. It's really beautiful. It's really wonderful. This is the opportunity that is right in front of all of us today, every day. Krishna makes himself available to us. All we have to do is just chant his name with some sincerity. That's it. And then you can capture him. He'll be tied to the core of your heart. There's not a joy like that in this world that you can ever experience. There isn't a love like that in this world that you'll ever even come close to. That's what we're all looking for. Every single one of us. Whether you're the man who lives in the White House in Washington, D.C., or the man who lives in some other house in North Korea, or in Russia, or here in Silicon Valley, whoever you are, this is the longing of all of us. Our real longing is that we want to have a loving exchange with Krishna. We want to re-enter into that relationship. And we've forgotten that. So take one step towards Krishna and he'll come running to you. 2 fingers. Our endeavor. If I willingly put my endeavor into serving Krishna and finding ways to connect with Krishna, then his mercy is guaranteed. The 2nd finger is guaranteed. And this month of Kartik is a very special time to try this. Over the next 1 month, make some small commitment to yourself and to Krishna. You don't have to say it publicly. You don't have to put it on Facebook. Just make some small commitment to yourself that Krishna, this is how I'm going to connect with you every day over this next month. And then do it. And see the result for yourself. You'll bind Krishna right in the core of your heart. And then he's yours forever. And you're his forever. So thank you all so much. Hare Krishna. Thank you, thank you. You're all so kind. This is why my favorite place to come in the world is here, because you're all just full of so much kindness and you encourage even someone as lowly as me. We'll stop there because we have some time for any questions or comments, corrections, chastisements, concerns, anything else. Hare Krishna.
So before you were talking about how if we give our Krishna our best, and it kind of reflected to like if we offer Krishna our lives, then he can take control of it. And also I had a question regarding like the process and how can we have faith, and I've asked this before to many people, but I still had I've tried different things, but I feel like I haven't gotten the answer. So how can we have faith that if we do take one step towards Krishna, then Krishna will come running?
Thank you so much. Such a nice question. It's good we have to hear it twice because it's interesting. Mother Yashoda, when she's trying to make this butter for Krishna, like you said, she followed a process, right? There's a process to it. First you have to get the milk, and then it turns into yogurt, then you churn the yogurt, and then the yogurt becomes butter. And then she offers it, then the idea was to offer it to Krishna. And so there is a process. And so for us also, there's a process, right? You chant, you serve, you associate with devotees. But the process in and of itself, you can do it very dryly without having your heart in the process. So the other thing that Mother Yashoda had also, she had a purpose. You know purpose? In my accent it sounds like purpose, the animal, but purpose meaning there was she had meaning. She understood what she was doing. And so we can say in our language, you have the sadhana and you have the sadhya. You have to know the goal also. What am I trying to achieve by this process? Because when you have the goal in mind, then it gives us more inspiration for the process. But all of these things, the whole thing, Like you said, how do I have the faith? My Shraddha Devi is sitting in the front. Sometimes we can imagine like faith or Shraddha to be, it's like, here's my faith. And it can stay here. But faith is a very dynamic thing. It should grow over time. Faith should never stop growing. And so we can go to Rupa Goswami. And Rupa Goswami tells us that the first thing is Shraddha. To begin one's devotional life, there has to be some faith. It may just be very small, but there has to be some faith. And then he says the next thing that one has to do is sadhu sangha. Then your faith will begin to grow. And this concept of sadhu sangha is a really important one. Because it's through our sangha that our faith will grow. It's through the mercy of others. When we serve others and we serve together, that increases our faith. And what happens when you get sangha? So Shraddha, sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, sadhana. Our practice begins in a more intelligent way. And part of bhajana kriya, part of your bhajan is also you learn more about Krishna. Right? So your faith increases. So 3 ways. One thing is you associate with people who have faith. Right? Be with people who have faith, and your faith will also increase. And then you practice. You practice the process, and then your faith will increase. And through the practice of the process, you hear and chant about Krishna. The more you get to know about Krishna, the more you start to understand who he is, and the more that your faith binds you to him as well. Is that okay? Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Please, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Krishna.
It was a wonderful class, very enlightening. Prabhu, as we saw in this Leela, how Mother Yashoda binds Krishna with her love. And even many acharyas sing in their songs about binding Krishna with their love. So when we sing such songs or try to understand such Leelas, and we are trying to get into the Leela, is it good on our part to also aspire to develop such high, intense love for Krishna that he becomes bound by our love? Or is it arrogant on our part to aspire for such a thing?
Our aspiration is this verse which is on the projector right now. Our aspiration is, I just want to love you purely, Krishna. And whatever you want me to do, that's up to you. You'll reveal it to me in time. I have to focus on the purity of my own heart. And when I start to develop that purity in my own heart, Krishna will reveal to me what I should be aspiring for on that level, what relationship, how to bind. That's something that will come in time when our focus is save above, just service. However I can increase my service. That's my aspiration. When I hear these Leelas, I should hear them and I should understand what lessons are in this that will help me increase my service. When I hear people speak about these Leelas, I should think about it, I should hear it, and I should analyze and understand what is in this that will help me increase my service. That's it. Service. I'm looking for service. And along the way of looking for service, if I find Krishna, or Krishna finds me, great, wonderful. And if I don't, this verse, handle me roughly, make me brokenhearted, even if you're not present before me, I'm not going anywhere. That's my aspiration. My aspiration is I just want to become firmly fixed in my intention that I just want to serve you, Krishna. That's all I want. And then leave the rest to him. He's very kind like that. He'll tell you. Just like he told Mother Yashoda when he pulled her sari, feed me. She didn't have to aspire. She just aspired for service, and he came and showed her, this is how you do it. But last thing I'll also say, going back to Sangha, find people who you have faith in, who you can take guidance from. And they'll also help you along the way. They'll help you understand, is this a good aspiration? Or is this some kind of concoction that I'm coming up with? Did that answer the question?
Thank you.
Thank you for Hare Krishna. Shraddha, please. Firstly, I'll just say that I felt very nervous today because before I came, Shraddha Devi, she sent me a WhatsApp text and she said, I'm coming to your class. And I was thinking, oh, Hare Krishna. And now she's going to ask a question. I'm feeling kind of nervous again.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know that I had that reputation.
No, because we're just trying to please you.
Well, the truth is that Yeah, he has taught here for several times, and I never attended his class. Something or the other always came up, and then my god sister Shamlangi would always come and tell me, like, you missed it again. These classes are so wonderful.
Krishna
So
saved you.
today again, I was going to be at some other place, and I was going to be, like, we were going to be driving here, and I was afraid I'll be late. So that's why I wrote to him that, I'm praying that I really am able to come to your class. And so now I know why Shamlangi says whatever she says, because your class was just wonderful. I mean, I have heard personally this Damodar story so many times, but you presented it in such a nice manner, adding at every step with everything that Yashoda Mataji did. You added a lesson for all of us on, what we should do. And that was just amazing. Thank you so much for tying that together.
It's anything I could do is by the blessings of people who've been kind to me. So thank you.
And then two things that I'm carrying away personally for myself was sometimes I get very overwhelmed when service comes on my head. And then you said that service brings more service. So that was a very nice takeaway.
That's how you know that your service is really, you're doing it from your heart. Krishna will say, okay, I got a lot of service for you. Keep coming.
There you go. Yes, it's a good way to looking at it than being overwhelmed. And then when there are obstacles in service or otherwise, you also said that, I really like the example of life pulling at your seams so that what is inside comes out. And that's where we have to be really very careful to have good things inside so that even if the seams are torn, we don't care. It's all good there. So thank you so much.
Thank you. That's the true test, right? You see, if you read the Bhagavatam, you'll see that there's so many stories of people like under pressure. Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, everyone, Queen Kunti, the Pandavas, everyone's under pressure. Because it's, like I said, it's so easy to be, everything's great when everything is externally great, but it's that pressure, when it pulls you at the seam, that really brings out what's within us. It also gives us an indication of the areas that we have to work on, right? So why service is such a wonderful thing. Not only does it please Krishna, but it also holds a mirror up for us. Oh, that aspect of myself I got to work on a little bit. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. It's the front row. They're getting all the bonus points today. Okay, you'll come afterwards.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for a wonderful class, as usual. So my question is that how do you allay this fear that how do you remove this fear that what if Krishna doesn't take care, when you surrender?
What if Krishna doesn't take care of me if I surrender?
I mean, yeah.
Then you just read this verse and you say, okay, Krishna didn't take care of me, no problem. Because it's not about me. I'm not doing this because I want Krishna to take care of me. I'm talking about in the ultimate realm of it. I'm not doing this because Krishna's going to take care of me, because then I'll have a lot of money, everyone will love me. That's not why we do this. We do this because it pleases Krishna. And because Krishna can do anything by his own sweet will, if he doesn't take care of me, he doesn't take care of me. Because actually, what is taking care of me? Really? Taking care of me doesn't mean that he fills my refrigerator every night with my favorite food. Hare Krishna. See, Damodar Leela. Taking care of me means, what does it really mean? What's going to give me sustenance? Truly, on the deepest level, is service. So Krishna will always give me service. He may not materially, I might get sick, I may lose my job or whatever else, but that's not taking care of me. That's taking care of me on a very material level. Then it becomes transactional. Krishna, I'll do this for you, and then you'll do this for me, and then I'll do this for you, and then you'll do this for me. But really, the real fear is not having any opportunity to serve Krishna, whether he reciprocates or not. Well, firstly, he guarantees he'll reciprocate. He says it in the Bhagavad Gita. But even if he doesn't, no problem, because I'm not doing this for that. I'm doing this because I want to serve you. You're the object of my affection. I'm just going to serve you, whatever you want. 8th verse of the Shikshastakam. Handle me roughly by your embrace, make me broken-hearted by not being present before me. You're completely free to do anything and everything. You always remain my worshipful Lord. It's unconditional. Yeah. Is there a microphone this way? Yeah, please.
Thank you so much for the beautiful class. It's not a question, but with your permission, I would just like to add a point, if you allow me.
Yeah, you can add 2 points if you like.
I just have one. So as you told that everything is conscious in Vrindavan, it's like the milk was conscious. So the flowers on Yashoda Mai's head, they were also conscious.
Yeah.
And it is said there were 3 kind of flowers on her head.
Yeah.
One, on the side of Yashoda Maya, when she was trying to run and catch Krishna, the flowers were thinking, I don't want to weigh Yashoda Maya more, I want to lighten her burden. So they fell on her feet. The second type of flowers were on Krishna's side, and they were like, oh my God, she's trying to catch Krishna. I cannot see this side, and they also fell. The third kind of flowers were neutral. They were just having that devotion that I want to fall in the feet of this great lady who is trying to scare the person from whom the fear personified is fearful. So they also fell on the feet of Krishna. So I just love this point, so I just wanted to add it on.
Thank you. It's a beautiful point. Did you all hear that? You can watch the recording if you didn't. But you see, this is a really interesting point. This Leela, because it's Krishna, it's unlimited. Like someone else could come here and give a whole different class on this same Leela with a whole different bunch of points that I didn't ever even come close to touching upon. And then the next day someone else could come and give a whole different class. You know, it's unlimited. This is why it's non-different than Krishna. Krishna is unlimited, his Leelas are unlimited also, and what's within them is unlimited for us also. Thank you, such a wonderful point. I really appreciate it, thanks. Please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
for the wonderful and inspiring class. I have one question. That while we talk about very tall examples, but at our level, we need to constantly reinforce our understanding that this is the goal. We need to convince at least for me. So sometimes due to our conditioned nature, we can oscillate between the extremes. Sometimes I'm always doing service, and then one point, oh, no more. And sometimes I'm doing study, and so what is key is to make a balance. So what would be your suggestion or your advice or your guidance that how can we, at our practical level, because we want to grow, we don't want to just be like a rocket, just goes up, boom, and done forever. So how can we understand that this is the right balance for me and maybe little stage, but I'm able to progress?
Yeah. So if I go back to the gym analogy, right? There's one thing to just remain in your comfort zone, which there's no stretch. Yeah, I come to the temple. There's no real stretch. The other extreme is you overstretch and then you tear a muscle and you never go back to the gym again. How do you find that middle ground? You really have to analyze yourself. Atma Shamiksha, it's like, this is explained, this is like a really important thing for a devotee, is to analyze one's own heart. Am I really giving, like I said, am I really giving the best? Remember in the beginning? She wanted to give her, am I really giving my best? And it's my best, your best may be, hey, I chant 1 round every day. That may be your best. Only you can decide that. No one else can tell you. Right? Because you know your heart better than I know it. The only person who knows it better is Krishna. So that's the thing. You have to analyze. Am I just being complacent? Am I just using this as an excuse not to stretch myself to grow? The other excuse is, am I so overwhelmed I can't even think? Right? I remember when I was a brahmachari, for years, I would sleep 4 hours a day. Sometimes I have a late night program, and I just had this vow that I'm going to wake up every day at 2 a.m. No matter what, 2 a.m. I'm going to wake up. Sometimes I go to sleep at midnight. 2 a.m. I'm going to wake up at 2 a.m. That happened for a few days, and then 1 week I just got to sleep now, right? But only I can really judge. Am I really am I in the mode of passion, or am I in the mode of ignorance ultimately, or am I serving from a place of the mode of goodness? And that means it's sustainable. I really analyze my life and I look, what's practical for me? And again, it sounds like a broken record. Have good sangha. Surround yourselves with good people. Surround yourselves with people who can support you and help you also analyze. Right? I remember I was a bit fired up at one point, and someone said, hey, you're chanting too many rounds. It's not sustainable. And I was thinking, you're a Maya. I'm chanting rounds. But he said, no, you're going to burn yourself out, But because he cared about me and I cared about him, I took him seriously, and then I made some adjustments. So analyze your own heart and just see what's practical. Am I really just being complacent, or am I overstretching myself? And secondly, have good sangha, have good association, because through good association they'll also be able to, like, real association. I mean, like where you reveal your heart to someone and you really open yourself up to that person. You have faith in them and you trust them that this person's not going to use this against me. They actually want to see the best for me, and so they're going to give me the advice that's really best for me. And then you can ask them too, hey, and you may not even have to ask. If they love you so much, they'll tell you as well, hey, slow down a little bit, or hey man, speed up a little bit. Does that answer the question?
Thank you, Prabhu, for the wonderful class.
Thank you.
The point which stuck on my head is the two finger difference. So I was just thinking how to relate in our personal lives. For example, in the material, sometimes we fail and sometimes we succeed. So whenever we fail, should we say that something with these two fingers is missing? Maybe the mercy of Krishna and the efforts from our side. So how we should relate with our personal things, which sometimes failures happen. So do they fall in these categories, that mercy of Krishna and action is missing? But for example, mercy is always there. That's what I feel. Yeah. And action is always short. So how to relate to the personal failures, whatever happen in our life from this point? If you can elaborate.
I'll try and answer in 1 minute because the class is about to be over. But what I'll say is this. You shouldn't just think about this when there's a failure, even in your success. Because what is success and what is failure? Really, truthfully. Right? If you look at the Pandavas and the Kauravas, if you read the Mahabharata, we know the story. I won't get into it because we don't have so much time. But under the Kauravas, actually the kingdom was run very well. You know that? It wasn't like they were just like running the kingdom terribly. It was run very well. But Krishna didn't want them in that position because actually that wasn't the success. The success was the quality of their heart, how they ran the kingdom, not just that they were running it. Deeper than that. So even in our failures, our successes, also we should think, what's in this? Everything we should be able to analyze. Because it's always going to be short. It's like running a race, but the finish line keeps moving. You'll never get to the finish line. Because it's not getting to the finish line that matters. It's the fact that you're going to run the race and you're going to keep running the race. That's what really matters. So how can you relate it? Depends on the situation. It really depends on the situation. It's hard to say, right? But the main thing is, whether success or failure, whether it's good or bad, something in it that Krishna is still trying to teach me. And we have to like attune ourselves. It means like take on the vision of like, I'm trying to pick up what Krishna is teaching me, whatever the external situation. How do you do that? You chant Hare Krishna. And you associate with other people who chant Hare Krishna. And you offer yourself in service as much as you can, practically speaking, as we're saying. And then you'll start to see your transmitter will be turned on, and when Krishna speaks to you, you'll say, oh yeah, I realize what Krishna was revealing to me. Forgive me, I would get more deep, but I went 1 minute over. Thank you all so much. It was such a great honor and privilege to be with all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Everyone, please have a seat. We'll be starting Damodara Ashtakam very soon. And those who want to offer the lamps, please, dear devotees, please have a seat. You know, we are starting the auspicious day, month of Kartik. We'll be having our first Damodara Ashtakam of the month. And those who wants to offer the lamp, all of us, please form a queue on my right. Please form a queue on my right, and rest of the
Hare Krishna.
Sachidanandarupam Lasyat kundalam gokule vrajamana Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat kundalam gokule vrajamana Yashoda viyoluka lavdavamana Paramishramatanta drutya gopya Yashoda viyoluka lavdavamana Paramishramatyantato drutya gopya Rudanta moho netra yugma mrijanta Karamboja yugmena satanka netra Rudanta moho netra yugma mrijanta Karamboja yugmena satanka netra Moho swasakam patri rekanka kanta Sitagraiva damodaram bhaktivadam Moho swasakam patri rekanka kanta Sitagraiva damodaram bhaktivadam Iti driksvalila virananda kunde Sagosham nimajanta makyapayanta Iti driksvalila स्वघोषलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं नीमाजन्तामाख्यापयन्ता तदीयशीताग्नेषु भक्तैर्जितात्मा पुनः प्रेमातास्तां सता वृत्तिवन्दे तदीयशीताग्नेषु भक्तैर्जितात्मा पुनः प्रेमातास्तां सता वृत्तिवन्दे वरं दिवा मोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चैनं मृणेहं वरिषाद प्रिया वरं देव मोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चैनं मृणेहं वरिषाद प्रिया इदं देव पूर्णाथ गोपालबालं सदा मे मानस्याभिरस्तां किं मन्ये इदं देव पूर्णाथ गोपालबालं सदा मे मानस्याभिरस्तां किं मन्ये इदं ते मोखाम्बोजं मत्यान्तनीलै वृतं कुन्तलै स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या इदं ते मोकाम्बोजं मत्यन्तनीलै वृतं कुन्तलै स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितां बिम्बरक्ताधरां मे मानस्याभिरास्तामलं लक्षलाभ्ये मुहुश्चुम्बितां बिम्बरक्ताधरां मे मानस्याभिरास्तामलं लक्षलाभ्ये नमो देवो दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःख जला विमग्ना नमो देवो दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःख जला विमग्ना कृपा दृष्टि वृक्षति दिनं वतानो गृहणे क्षमामज्ञं यदक्षिदृश्ये कृपा दृष्टि वृक्षति दिनं वतानो गृहणे क्षमामज्ञं यदक्षिदृश्ये कुबेरात्माजो वधमूर्तैव यद्वा तया मोचित भक्तिभाजो कृतौ च कुबेरात्माजो वधमूर्तैव यद्वा तया मोचित भक्तिभाजो कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं सकामे प्रयच्छ नमो शीघ्रो मे स्थिरमोदरेह तथा प्रेम भक्तिं सकामे प्रयच्छ नमो शीघ्रो मे स्थिरमोदरेह नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने तदीयोदराय तविश्वस्य दाम्ने नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय तविश्वस्य दाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीय प्रियायै नमो Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Madan Mohan Radha, Madan Mohan Radha. Jaya Radha, Damodara Radha, Damodara Radhe. Jaya Radha, Giridhari Radha, Giridhari Radhe. Jaya Radha, Madan Mohan Radha, Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Radha, Madan Mohan Radha, Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Radha, Damodara Radha, Damodara Radhe. Jaya Radha, Shama Sundar Radha, Shama Sundar Radhe. Jaya Radha, Gopinath Radha, Gopinath Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari जय श्री दामोदर अष्टकम की जय. Nrsimha Arati.
I'm putting it away. Like
Vaishnavi.
metal color.
Vaishnavi.
Yeah, it's like
Vaishnavi. Where is Vaishnavi? Hare Krishna, Vaishnavi.
yeah. Let's start. Okay.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralada Lada Daine. Pralada Lada Daine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Shilatankanakalaye. Shilatankanakalaye. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Yato Yato Yamitato Narsimha. Yato Yato Yamitato Narsimha. Bahir Narsimha, Hridaye Narsimha. Bahir Narsimha, Hridaye Narsimha. Narasimha Madem Sharanam Prapade. Narasimha Madem Sharanam Prapade. Tava Kara Kamalava Dinaka Madhurta Sheka Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu bring harm Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. Adhuta Sheka Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu bring harm Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe
Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Shri Radhe
Jaya Mahaprabhu Jaya Mahaprabhu Jaya Mahaprabhu Jaya Mahaprabhu
Mahaprabhu Jaya Mahaprabhu Mahaprabhu Jaya Mahaprabhu
Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Ananta Dev Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Ananta Dev
Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Narahari Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Narahari
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada
Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Jaya Gurudev
Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gaur Premanande
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. We welcome all of you to this wonderful, ecstatic and super blissful Sunday Feast program at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. This year we are very fortunate that the month of Kartik has begun on this Sunday evening or on Sunday, so that we all can get together and begin the Kartik month in great ecstasy, great enthusiasm and lot of energy. Did you all feel something special going on this evening during Damodar Ashtakam? Something really, really special, right? Okay, so let's thank Anant Dev Prabhu for bringing us a very nice discourse on Damodar Leela. Let's also thank Ananya Radhika Mataji for leading the Narsimdev prayers. Hare Krishna. And was it Vaishnavi? Vaishnavi for leading Narsimdev prayers. Thank you. Hare Krishna. I do notice several newcomers in our audience, so we'd like to welcome them. They have come here on a very auspicious day, and if the newcomers have any questions or feedback for us, please feel free to stop by at the booth, welcome booth at the entrance, and please talk to one of the volunteers. But let's welcome our newcomers by loudly chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We have one confirmed sponsor for this evening. It's Aparna Mataji sponsoring for her parents' birthdays, which are both in the month of October. Rajnikant Prabhu and Panna Mataji. Are they here? Would you mind coming forward for a minute? Let's give them a warm welcome. So I just heard that Rajnikant Prabhu is turning 80 and Panna Mataji is turning 76. Please. Thank you. We're very happy to have you here on this auspicious day, the beginning day of Kartik. Would you like to say a few words?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And there she is, Aparna Mataji, she is sponsoring for her parents. Very thoughtful and kind gesture of you to do this for your parents. So we'll give them a wonderful portrait of Shri Shri Radha Krishna and Mangalarti sweets.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So I heard we have a lot of boxes of these sweets, Mangal Arati sweets. They are available for a small donation. If you like to take advantage of this opportunity, one of the Matajis is at our entrance, so she'll help you with that if you like to take a box or two home today. The other announcement is that Govind Prabhu continues to organize kirtan in houses of devotees who would like to welcome a kirtan group at their house so that they can introduce this wonderful process of Krishna consciousness to their neighbors and friends. If you are interested in holding a session, and this month is very auspicious to do so, please contact Govind Prabhu. Govind Prabhu, are you here? Okay, I saw him some time ago too, but you can let Govind Prabhu know. The last but not least, we need a lot of help in the kitchen today to clean up after prasadam. If you like to volunteer, every service counts 1,000 times more done in this month. So don't forget that. And if you like to volunteer cleaning the temple, especially the kitchen after prasadam, please come and see me and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you, Hare Krishna. We have now the list of cooks for this evening.
Hare Krishna, today's prasadam was cooked by Ujjwala Rasa Mataji, Tripti Mataji, Kanika Mataji, Thadya Seva Prabhu, Shriram Prabhu, Rajarao Prabhu, Vinay Prabhu, Vinitha Mataji, Vedashri Mataji, Surisha Mataji, Kalyani Mataji, and Srini Prabhu. And today's cleaners were Parantapa.
The ratio of the number of cooks to cleaners is really large. So I do anticipate a lot of cleaning after the prasadam. So please do come and help us. And today's, during the Shayanarti at 7:30 p.m., we'll be singing Gopi Geet. Instead of the regular Kirtan, we'll be singing Gopi Geet throughout this month, the month of Kartik. So please come and join us in that singing. Now let's sing prasadam prayers all together. Sharira.
Jive fele vishaya sagore tarmade jivayati take jita katina samsare Krishna Bharadoyama Kodi Bhara Jivaja Swaprasadana Dilo Vaseyana Mritapa Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gunaga Preme Dhako Shri Chaitanya Nita Preme Dhako Shri Chaitanya Nita Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave Sapa Punyam Vritam Rajan Vishvasone Vrajayate Prasade Sarva Dukkana Hanirasha Pajayate Prashana Chitase Ashu Vapravishete Tvayoka Bhukta Sarganda Vasalankara Charchita Ushista Bojino Dasas Tavamayan Jayemahi Bhagavachima Prasadaki Nitai Gaura Hariba, 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 Nitai Gaura Hariba. Please come take prasadam.